Well, the Seahawks started their first time quarterback of the team that was with the Vikings last year in Sam Darnold. And he actually looked relatively solid in his first drive, which ended up ending with a rushing touchdown by Zach Charbonnet. But one of my biggest takeaways, other than that, from this second preseason game against Kansas City.
It's football time.
Alrighty, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the All Around Sports Podcast for sports or everything on this channel. I'm your host, Antonio. Today, we are talking about the Seahawks, as the Seahawks won their second preseason game in a final score of 33-16 against the Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning defending AFC champions. But of course, it was their starter, so that's a little bit of a pass for them. But the storyline of the night was Sam Darnold on his first drive as a Seahawks quarterback. He was 4 of 4 of completions. And not only that, he led the eventual first drive of the game that would end in a touchdown, which was led by Zach Charbonnet into the end zone for the first touchdown. But Seattle's offensive line also was really solid too, as they were really good. I don't think they even allowed a single sack this game. Because I don't think they did, because I looked at the game. I don't think they even sacked. I don't even think Sam Darnold or any of the quarterbacks behind them was sacked. But let me see really quick, just to make sure. And only sacked twice, but it's improvement on the offensive line. Oh wait, no, correction. That's with the Chiefs. Yeah, they didn't even allow a single sack. So that is really good. But also, we had some other things going on around Seahawks. But the question is, what are my biggest takeaways from the second preseason game, and what can they improve going into the final preseason game, of course, against Green Bay? But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do me a favor and smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. For now, let's talk about the Seahawks' second preseason game. Seattle. I looked at every highlight of that first drive, and I gotta say, Darnold looked comfortable. Darnold was outstanding. He was calling the plays, and they actually ran the ball. They ran the ball. And and everyone knows from watching me, I have pled the Seahawks to run the ball. I have constantly begged them to run the ball, because this is the type of potential I see. Zach Charbonnet, of course, had a touchdown, and then, of course, Damian Martinez had one as well later on in the game. But I love what I saw from that run game. The offensive line was solid. They didn't even allow a single sack this game. And this is a good sign. I love what I saw from the offensive line. They have been getting more comfortable to protecting Darnold. And you have to, because Darnold played behind the 16th ranked offensive line in Minnesota. But I will say this. One thing that stood out to me was Jake Bobo on his 2 catches. This man made an argument to be a starter, because we all know Jake Bobo. We know how long he's been on the team for. He was the same guy that mossed the Cardinals cornerback with that amazing touchdown that he had a few years ago. I believe Jake Bobo has a chance to make the roster, because Jake Bobo is a solid guy. He's a solid receiver. Corey Horton also did solid as well. But also, I love what I saw from this offense. They looked comfortable. They were absolutely amazing. And also, there was a lot of great plays made by the Seahawks. I love what Brandon Philly did on the defense with that safety on Elijah Mitchell. That was awesome. But I love what I saw from this team. They were comfortable. They absolutely looked amazing. And that defense, of course, some of the starters played, but a few things I could see that could get better is the tackling. I would love to see that tackling get a little bit better. But other than that, Darnold looked really comfortable. I'm impressed on how well he looked. And if he looks like that going into the regular season, then we can have some questions on if he can possibly be like an MVP candidate. But now I'm not saying he will do that, but it's a good sign. But of course, Drew Lock played for a little while. I do believe this man has the potential to be a starter. I believe even if Gino would have left, and I think we would have been better off with Drew Lock, but because Drew Lock's familiar with the squad. But of course, I love what I saw from Sam Darnold in his first snaps as the quarterback for Seattle. Playing Kubiak, I got to give that man some credit. I love what I've seen from the offense so far. They're running the ball efficiently, they're making plays for passing. And Jalen Milroe, this man is a sneaky stud. Jalen Milroe has a chance to be a future starter because he was amazing in his first game. Of course, he was outstanding from the rush game. This man was the second highest rating at 92 speed rating among all quarterbacks. That is insane. And of course, this is based off of Madden. This man, Jalen Milroe, has speed. He has got outstanding speed when he goes in the run. He had 18 yards from rushing and he had 5 carries. This man is a guy to watch out for. He was 3 of 5 on completions. I do believe his passing is going to have to get a little bit better. But Jalen Milroe, I'm telling you this right now. Once this guy becomes a starter, watch out. This man is coming for the starting job of any team. But last thing, see, Drew Lock with that run, he saw a wide open lane down the middle of the field. He took it. That was an amazing awareness by Drew Lock. That was amazing awareness. And then, of course, you had other plays made by a few different receivers. I am starting to love what Elijah Arroyo is doing. And of course, Cooper Kupp did play a few of the first snaps. He was primarily working on the blocking as well. It's one of the things he's really good at. I love what I saw from Kupp, blocking game. And then one guy I really am keeping my eyes on is Elijah Arroyo. This man from the University of Miami is a really sneaky tight end. And I know they released Noah Fant. They released him for a reason. Seattle needed to save money, and they already have superstar studded tight ends. Now, am I saying they're superstars? No. But Warner was outstanding last year for Seattle. And Elijah Arroyo was solid with his Miami Hurricanes team last year back in college. But Robbie Oates, this man is an outstanding fullback. He has been amazing in the block game since he's arrived in Seattle. This man, Robbie Oates, is an amazing blocker. He has been doing outstanding. I have loved what I've seen from this guy. He's both good in the receiving game and he's also good from the blocking game. This man has potential to make the roster. Because Robbie Oates, I do believe there's a chance he can make the fullback position. He is a really solid guy. He's big, he's physical. He's actually supposed to be a tight end. He was drafted by the Seahawks as a tight end. Now he's transformed into a fullback position, which I think is really good for him because not a lot of tight ends could transfer from being a tight end in college to being a fullback in the NFL. Not a lot of people could do that. But he has been doing a tremendous job at his blocking game. I love what I've been seeing from this offensive line. And if I will say this, a thing I could see improving for the defense is their tackling in their next game against the Green Bay Packers. One thing I could see improvement from the offense is pretty much nothing, if you ask me, because their offensive line was looking amazing. I would have liked to see more running, if I'm being honest, because if we know what teams look like, we know run games tire out defenses. We all know this. When you run the ball on a consistent basis, it tires down the defense. And if they can master the run game with the current running backs they have in their room, including Zach Charbonnet, K9, Martinez, and George Holland is a sneaky stud to make that roster. If this run game is consistent this year, I do believe there's a chance that they could possibly make the playoffs. And not only that, I think they could win the division because they are showing me a really good sign. Their defense is getting stronger. Offense is getting only more loaded. I love what I've been seeing from the offensive line, but we'll have to wait and see what happens in this final preseason game. And the NFL season's only about a half a month away, so I'm starting to get pretty excited. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys think the Seahawks? What are your guys' biggest takeaways from the Seahawks for your second preseason game? Let me know in the comments what you guys think down below. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, do me a favor and smash the button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Ciao for now.